Alright, here we are for another year, AFL Fantasy 2024. Good day, hopefully you are all well. Bit of a break between maths as well too, so I've been watching that and a few other things, Survivor and all that, wow. Yeah, feels like cricket season still, with WA still playing in the cricket. Playing Victoria at the moment to play off in the finals. Obviously, the BBL and a few other things has happened as well too. But this is our AFL fantasy. Now, this is my team here. I still got $1.2 million left. I need to upgrade a couple of people anyway. I also still need to put a Brisbane Lions player in as well too. My boy Coleman, who was going to have a fantastic year, averaging about 90, I'd say, this year. Unfortunately, went down with his ACL last game, and which is quite sad, actually. And he's a promising player, was the player of the finals, and definitely got us to the grand final. Unfortunately, he's injured. And also, Doherty has also gone down as well, too. And no matter what team you support, you never want to see injuries, especially long-term injuries, and you don't want that. So unfortunately, he's had a bad pass as well too, so hopefully it's not the finish of him either, but just hopefully they can bounce back next year. All right, let's get to our backline. Obviously, I've been also doing a bit of the buys, and I'll talk through a bit about break-evens and a few other things as well too. This year's going to be a lot more harder with the buys. They didn't actually start scoring last week, so which I thought they might have, because BBL and BBL Supercoach, obviously they actually do it that way. They actually play during buys and triple game weeks and double game weeks as well. So here's my team, but obviously things are going to change as well too, because I like more pods, but at the moment these are sort of more the ones that sort of been standing out for me. But Lockie Ash is probably my pod as well. I like as well. He's got a break of a 56. He's got a ownership of 0.76%. I should not show that because otherwise might get a few popular after this. Hayden Young's going to be playing more midfield time for the Dockers as well too. Sean Darcy's out injured in the ruck, but you'll get to that a bit later. We've got Elliot Yeo. They're saying in the news in the West Coast that he might be playing more midfield time. Zach Williams, he break-evens of 17 after playing last week. Caulfield Howes has got a break-even negative 58. So, however, I'm going to upgrade one of my defenders because looking at my defense, it's a bit weak at the moment. I've still got a lot of money to fix that up. Charlie Dean, he's got a break-in of 0. And Reed obviously hasn't played yet. I might downgrade him. Might get a bit more. Or upgrade him maybe. I got Bontempelli. Haven't had Bontempelli yet in my classic. I've always had him in my drafts and that, and he's sort of carried me in there. So I'll give him a shot this year. Got Zach Merritt, my two big ones. Nick Martin, Ollie Wines, and Fiorini. Fiorini's got a low break-even of 28, and he played a lot of midfield time the other day. Bonner, interesting one. He did quite well in the preseason, but I might actually downgrade him maybe to Archie, maybe, because I need to at least get a Lions player, and Archie's got a break-even of 8 as well. Sanders, McUrcher, Roberts has got a break-even of negative 71, so when he jumps on the field, he's just going to go up in price. Harley Reid there. Now, I'll get to the rucks soon. Well, let's go to the forward line. I've got Isaac Heaney. He's got the break-even of 16, so he's going to go up. While Tyler Adams and Parker's out injured, then probably a good idea to maybe put him in and maybe get some money, and then you can trade him out by round 5 when they have the bye, if you need to. And Fisher, he scored well in the pre-season. My mate's cousin, actually, so Zach Fisher, shout out to him, who played for Carlton. Now, Nat Fife in the forward line. Sars, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so only Essendon fans can pronounce their name for me. Sexton, he's got a low break-even, negative 16. He's going to go up in coin, and he's going to get defence role for sure. Nazario. And then on the bench here, I've got Toby Mullen. He's got a break-even, I just clicked on it, break-even negative 16. And Seth Campbell got a break-even negative 38 from Richmond. Now, Furphy and Verrell, they are just fillers for now. Obviously, the teams are going to name their teams in the next few days, so obviously things will change. Also, Mason Cox apparently was facing 6 weeks. If he's facing 6 weeks, I'll go with Cameron or I'll go back to Marshall. So my rucks are going to change. Cameron's got a break even of 11. And if he's going to beat a sole ruck, it might be quite handy to make some quick cash as well too. Brody Grundy also break even 8. The only issue is Collingwood and Sydney both have the same bye, which is annoying. So that means I might have to put Jackson in the forward line. Because Darcy's going to be out for 6 weeks now as well too. So in the news the last few days, Darcy's been out injured for a while. So you just got to watch out for the buys as well too. So now, let me read out who's got the buys. So hopefully you can see my writing. If you can't, then I'll just explain it. So in round 2, Lions and Blues. Round 3, Suns and GWS. Round 5, Pies and Swans, and round 6, Melbourne and Tigers. However, those rounds, it's the best 18 that score. So if you don't have all the players, that's all right. So at least you can cover them still somehow. The main ones will be a bit bigger. Round 12, it's Lions, GWS, North and Swans. So only 4 teams in the bye, so that's not too bad. Round 13, there's another 2-team bye, which is Fremantle and Port. So that could be handy. So you could probably load up on a few Freo and Port players. Round 14, Blues, Bombers, Cats, Suns, Melbourne, West Coast. And then round 15, Crows, Pies, Hawks, Tigers, and Suns, Saints, and Dogs. Now, it's interesting. I've got, my buy structure looks awful at the moment. I've got, this is what I've written out here, a bit messy again. So I've got round 2 with 1, round 3, 5, round 5 is 4, round 6 is 2. Then the middle buys, I've got 7, 2, 14, and 7. Now, what ideally you want to probably have is probably about like 6, then maybe like 8 and 8 or something like that. How does that add up? 8, no, it would be 8 and 10, sorry. 6, 6, 8, 10. So you'd want to try and have more at the back than at the front, because that way, once they've had a buy in round 12, then you can trade out the ones that are later in the season. So like round 14, 15, you can trade those down to a round 12 or round 13 player after they've had that buy. So you're kind of pretty much swapping around players, avoiding the buys, pretty much. Now, some of these are pretty much the hype team players as well too. So I'm probably going to change a few as well. I'm going to probably maybe take a few try to take a few popular ones out and put more pods in. At the moment, the bonus thing about Cameron is he's only owned by 1%, so it could be a pod, as well as Ash. I like Ash. I had him all year last year. No one ever got him, and he did quite well for me as well. Now let's have a look at these break-evens, shall we? This is all clubs, so this is from last week. So last week's scores taken into account, so those opening round games. A little pretty high scoring game in the GWS and Collingwood fantasy wise, but the scrappy game between Lions and Carlton meant that you probably have to trade most of them out, because McCluggage, who I was actually wanted in my midfield, he's my favourite player. He's got a break of 122 now, and a lot of the Lions players got bad break evens, apart from Archie, who's got a break even of 8. And obviously, I think Wilmot's going to fill the role of Coleman now, so going to be watch this space to see. But Archie can play forward, back, and anywhere, so that's pretty good. You can see the low break evens: Cadman, King, Cunningham, Roses, Brown, Boyd, Boderick, Archie, Windsor, Jordan, Gibberkus. So I might even get Lord Jordan maybe in, but I do have a few of those players, so it might be a bit tricky. Stanley, Binns, Taylor, Torrent, Kirk. Yeah, so I reckon if you probably have like 1 or 2 of each buy, that's all right, but you probably don't want to overload or anything like that. You want to still try and score pretty good, especially early weeks when you're stuck with the rookies. You don't want to have to rely on too many rookies. But yeah, also make sure you join this code. I also put the link as well. So in the Dream Team Asylum here, we have about 321 people so far in here. This should be the one. I hope this is the one. Invite. Yeah, this is the one. Dream Team Asylum. And the code is F6CRUD34. F6CRUD34. So those. So I'm still going to probably change probably about 2 or 3 players. So probably out. I'll probably maybe comment or something like that if you want any questions or if you want to share your teams or anything like that. Hopefully you are doing well with your fantasy. My Super Coach BBL, probably feel I do alright in that as well too. Top 100 a few times and also top 100 a couple of times in fantasy before. Obviously they had their hats, but you always want to try and finish top 1,000 in fantasy, I find, and you always want to try and finish top 100 in the BBL Super Coach. But looking forward to another good season. Hopefully your teams go well. And I'll be in town this week if you're interested, going on a boat cruise before the Freo Brisbane game, and then the Brisbane Lions are in town in Perth this week, so everything's all happening. But good luck, and good luck with all your teams, and go Lions and go Dream Team and go all your teams. Good luck.